Welcome back to Perdido Key Gaming. I thought I'd go and discuss one of the better assets for any role-playing game that came out for Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, 2nd edition. There's a couple other ones that are really enjoyable. The campaign books will always be, kind of cool, but today we're going to take a look at the Encyclopedia Magica, which, like I said, for any particular role-playing game, you could, adapt, what's in here to your role-playing game. But in the case of this one, it's pretty much every single magic item that came out for Dungeons and Dragons since the very first Dungeons and Dragons all the way through, the Dragon magazine and things like that. I got a cat who wants to come up and visit. But so you've got, from magic items that came out, modules, and it all got organized. So everything was organized. And what do you think, Pumpkin? But the main thing was that it's giant. There's, 4 of these books that came out, and I believe they did the same thing with the spells, which was kind of handy. You could get every single spell that anybody ever thought of to come out with one of these modules, So, this starts out with, A through whatever. Gives you some nice pictures, every single thing that could possibly be imagined. They organized it by, type of item or kind of item, boxes, brooches, caps, chariots, in case you've got somebody that wants to get their horsey on, cloaks, all sorts of things. So, that's extremely handy. Some of these, the artifacts are in here, and those were insanely powerful. So, you don't want to hand out any kind of, artifact, at least not right off hand, right? Anyway, but yeah, here's volume. This is volume 2. The first one was volume 4. We'll go back to that in a minute. But gauntlets, it lays out all the stats, what it does, psionics, ion stones, and you tell you're going to be in trouble if somebody showed up with some gems flying around their head. But yeah, in reality, this, what it would also do is, the magic item could be paired up with, what kind of weapon it was, for example. So you got your maces, masks. This definitely is a artifact type thing. Monocles, all sorts of interesting items. And of course, third one. This is what is this? P through spell book. But yeah, even the spells that were in that particular one-off spell book are in here. Not sure if the spells would give you some sort of idea for you could either transfer them straight over to your particular gaming system, or you could get ideas for other stuff, like for Rollmaster you'd have to kind of ignore that, but maybe if there was a kind of spell and you could cook up a spell list that could be used in your Rollmaster campaign. But very interesting type thing. So back to number 4. Of course, with any kind of book like this, they're going to have an index. Looks like it goes up to, you know, what is this? Page 1,300 and whatever. But every single magic item's in here, at least up till the time that they published this, which was, looks like, yeah, that's a good question. Oh, 1995. So, you know, that's more than 20 years ago, right? 25, am I right? But the good news is that in the back, unlike, you know, there's the magical item random determination tables. So, you know, if you know, you don't want to give out what's appropriate for magic, then you could easily use the tables to generate whatever's in a treasure hoard or something like that. You know, maybe you're, especially with dragons who, you know, tend to collect everything, you know, something like this might come in handy. But in reality, I think most game masters, most dungeon masters, anybody like that, is going to go ahead and put whatever he wants in a treasure pile, you know, or, you know, whatever might be found on a body, or what might be carried by any particular, you know, hoodlum or, you know, opponent or something like that. You're not just going to, you know, some fighter ends up with a, you know, some sort of staff. Of course, he's not going to have that. He would have given it to his buddy, right? Or sold it off for maximum, you know, price possible. But I think, yeah, like I said, you know, for most dungeon masters, for most game masters, you're just going to, you know, find something that the party is going to be used, or the individual is going to be, you know, would find useful. You know, you're not just going to hand out whatever. Hopefully you wouldn't. I mean, that'd make pretty funny, you know, because everybody's arguing over, you know, the fighter wants the staff because he can sell it off for $8,000 or something like that, or whatever your currency is. You know, greenback stamps, you know, whatever. But yeah, it's pretty awesome that they came out with this, and you know, this is right about in 5 years from 3rd edition coming out and everything like that. So it's definitely something that I would recommend if you can find it. Matter of fact, I should look on eBay and see how much this goes for these days. But your spell books, your staffs, and of course, you know, who doesn't, you know, want to deal with, let's see if I can find it, stringed instruments, sweatsuits. That was from you know, one of those, you know, April Fool's issues from Dragon magazine. They always had some funny stuff. So the sweatsuit of magical sweatsuit. But of course, you know, your swords are always popular, and they go through a huge amount of, not a huge, about a page worth of information what you can do with a sword, and personalize a sword, you know. You know, generate what kind of sword it is. And I believe all the artifact swords are in here. The sword of somebody or another. Who is that guy? Who's that guy? Vecna's buddy, you know. But yeah, very nice, highly recommended. And you know, if you can find one, get a hold of it. All right, so that about wraps it up for this one. Hopefully you'll leave a like, you hit subscribe, leave me some comments about some of your favorite magic items that you've found in all your role-playing games and everything like that. And we'll see you the next time on Perdido Key Gaming.